Welcome back to another episode of the KarterKast. I'm your host, Karter Baughan. With me, as always, Dylan, Ben, Connor. NFL Week 1 preview. We made it. I know I keep saying we made it, but I think I need to re-emphasize we made it. We have the real football back. It's not just Week 1 college football where, okay, it's fun. Only one game on Sunday, only one game Monday. No. Just think about this, fellas. Thursday, Ravens, Chiefs. Friday, Packers, Eagles. Ben, we got BYU, SMU. Saturday, full college football slate with some great games. And then Sunday, Week 1 NFL. Before we get into it, download the SeatGeek app or use code KarterKast. $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek.com. $50 minimum purchase required. Terms and conditions apply. Use code KarterKast. SeatGeek.com. SeatGeek, use code KarterKast. $20 off. Before we get into the show today, Week 1 NFL, I want to pose this question. I'll start with you, Dylan. I think Week 1 NFL is the most underrated sports day. That first Sunday of NFL. We talk about March Madness as being this great sports day, which it is. It's the best. We talk about Christmas. We talk about rivalry week in college football, that Black Friday, Saturday, college football Saturday. I think NFL Week 1, that Sunday, is the most underrated sports day of the year. Because I don't think it gets the love it deserves. I think people just talk about it. People talk about that Thursday game or the Monday game. I think that Sunday, when you have Scott Hanson on your Redzone, you got your team on another TV, and then you got another quad box on the other TV.
It is. We've definitely had this conversation before. I think last year we did a best and worst sports days draft, and I vaguely am having flashbacks there. I think it's a great day. Here's my problem with it, and I'm not saying
the Titans suck.
Titans are going to win. Have you seen side note line movements indicating that Titans are going to beat the
I've seen it.
Bears, and it's like what started rookie quarterbacks when they start like 0-14-1 against the spread or something. Anyway, it's exciting, and the more I think about it, I'm having people over, childhood friends over, are coming from Brookville to Circleville, and we're going to have a party. So I guess that's true. In my mind, I think that Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, holidays with football are underrated. I like the eating, the getting to watch the games. If you're in a situation where you're able to watch the games, sitting down, watching the games, eating, that whole vibe for me is underrated. But I could see where you could say Week 1. But I'm like a Week 5 guy when, like right now,
because you just want data. You just want stats.
Yeah,
you don't know. That you don't know what you're watching.
So true.
You're sitting there
previews,
like, I don't know how to pick these teams. I've never watched football before. I need stats to determine. Dylan, you just let your eyes tell the story, brother.
Dylan, I'm with you. I'm with you on like the Thanksgiving kind of vibe.
I don't think Thanksgiving's underrated, though. I think it's very properly rated.
You're right. It gets love. I think with Week 1, like I think the part that like I miss the most, or like that gets me fired up, it's really the Scott Hanson. Like, oh, let's look at this kickoff. Let's go to this kickoff. Let's go to this kickoff. And like, I don't know if you've seen that video that gets passed around. I'll probably post it this year where he goes, football.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding me?
The other thing, too, is with Week 1 that I love the most about it, and maybe it's because I love a terrible franchise, and we all here love historically terrible franchises, is you have hope. The hope is still alive in that Week 1, and you're like, maybe Bryce Young is the Super Bowl MVP. Maybe Will Levis will be the Super Bowl MVP. Jared Goff very well might be the Super Bowl MVP this season. But anyhow, Connor, is it underrated? Real quick.
I think it is. I think just judging off the feeling you get of sitting down with a huge pizza or just some unhealthy, greasy food in front of you.
It's 6 a.m. and I'm thinking about pizza.
Please, Dylan, please.
I think that is one of the... Like, there are kinks to work out Week 1. So, like, I just put an order at Kroger. I'm going to go pick it up at 2 or 3, and we're having people over. It's like, okay, so I got someone bringing the buffalo chicken dip. Abby's making queso. I'm making barbecue chicken sliders. It's still, what if something goes wrong, right? What if something goes wrong in making the food? It's like we're not in the groove yet. We got to figure it out still.
You know what doesn't go wrong?
Ordering it.
Pizza.
Yeah. But here's the thing,
pizza.
though. That's not cost effective. And, if I want to put Derrick Henry first touchdown, then I need to be saving money and make my own food at home.
Okay.
Remember that in November.
Anyhow, all right, let's get into the show today. Thursday night, we have football. Ravens, Chiefs. Chiefs -3 right now. Chiefs favored by 3 points. The game is in Arrowhead. Dylan, I'll start with you.
They give us a good one. Give us a good one to start out with. They don't like ease us in there. And normally these Thursday night football to start the seasons are pretty good games. Just historically, we've had like Bills, Rams. I think last year was Lions, Chiefs, great game. Mm-hmm. We've had discussions about, well, all of the teams in the previews, but the Ravens specifically and their defense taking a step back. We've had a conversation about the Chiefs, and it just seems no matter what happens, they're just going to keep on chiefing. If you have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, I think the key to this game is going to be who moves the ball on the ground better. The Chiefs' defense overall was very good, but their rush defense kind of lacked. And obviously that fits into the Ravens situation with Derrick Henry very well. And then it's more the same for the Chiefs. Are they going to be able to move the ball on the ground? The Ravens struggle against the run, 24th and 14th in rush yards per attempt allowed and rush yards per game. This game's going to be on the ground, which makes me think it's going to be low scoring. Maybe if you like rusher props, those are huge. What's our favorite bet? Kansas City Chiefs regular season favorite bet of all time.
Favorite bet of all time?
Favorite bet. Well, like you see the Chiefs, you see them as a favorite. What's the number we're looking for?
3.
I was going to say Justin Watson touchdown.
There we go. Justin Watson touchdown. More than a field goal, right? You fade them if they're more than a field goal favorite. We're looking at a 3 right now. I kind of like the Chiefs here.
Hi, Dylan.
I like the Chiefs, and it's square. I don't want to take the favorite first game of the year, but I mean, you get less than 3. I think this Ravens team takes a huge step back. I think the Chiefs come out hot here.
I agree with you, Dylan. I agree with you. I walked in here this week doing my prep. It was Chiefs. And then I start seeing social media just putting Ravens propaganda onto my timeline. Lamar's never lost as an underdog against the spread, all this bull crap. This isn't the same Ravens team. This offensive line is totally different against a great Chiefs defense. Great. And I don't really love the Ravens receivers. That didn't improve much. Yeah, Derrick Henry is there in Baltimore now, but Derrick Henry's not. I mean, he's older.
He's who's the change of pace back? Keith Mitchell's out till December.
Exactly, and so it's. I don't know, like when they get in the red zone, when goal line stuff, yeah, sure, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, that's going to be great. They got to get there. They got to get to the goal line.
Yeah.
This game's an Arrowhead, and we do this thing every year with the Chiefs where it's like, oh, they're going to start slow. The Chiefs always start slow. Well, if Kadarius Toney catches one pass against the Lions out of the 3 drops he had, then we're talking about the Chiefs starting 7-0 last season instead of 6-1. So I think our mind got distorted from that Lions game because we do this thing with primetime games where we count them times 4 essentially. But I love the Chiefs -3 here. Don't overthink it. It's Chiefs in Arrowhead. They have new weapons. You get Pat Mahomes with a field goal. If it's 3.5, stay away. If the line moves to 3.5, I'm staying away. You get the Chiefs -3. I love them. I think Chiefs win this game.
I agree. It's kind of weird how much I agree with this.
I was hoping you'd say no. We texted a little about this.
I know. Well, here's the thing. I wrote down two major points here, and that's number one, what I was worried about before the year is the Chiefs being slow during the regular season, maybe inadvertently not caring enough, maybe inadvertently taking some days off, or Travis Kelce maybe losing a step or saving himself for the playoffs. You know when that doesn't matter is week 1. When everyone's rested, they're defending the Super Bowl, opening Arrowhead after just winning the Lombardi Trophy. And the second thing I wrote down, what the Ravens lost. Mike McDonald to Seattle. A bunch of other position coaches on defense. Clowney, Patrick Queen, all gone. That O-line, 3 starters gone from last year. This isn't the same Ravens team. I think their defense will still be quality this year, but it might take a while to mesh. This is totally different. When you come out Thursday night, play the defending champions in Arrowhead, it's a different ball game. Patrick Mahomes, he's only lost to the Ravens once in the last 5 meetings. He's covered all 5 games. Other than last year, Chiefs won their last 8 season openers before last year. So, starting slow maybe, but they do win. And like you guys said, 3 is that key number. We're not looking at 7.5 or 9.5 or something insane like that. If you get them in a field goal, I love the Chiefs this year. I just don't know if this Ravens defense is the same like you guys said. I think it'll take some time to mesh. And I think they lost too much, and the Chiefs are still the Chiefs at the end of the day. And they're going to be rested and ready to go to defend their Super Bowl week 1. Not worried about the rest stuff. Give me the Chiefs -3.
Ben, are we going to make the college game day graphic?
We are not.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm going to go with Ravens here. I'm someone who has been kind of banging the drum. Like, I do understand there's a lot of turnover with the Ravens, but I've been banging the drum that, let us not forget how good they were last year. Like, I've just seen them destroy really good teams. And especially in this situation, in this spot, you guys made compelling points. Like, I'm not going to lie. There is a lot of turnover at the Ravens that is concerning. But I do think Lamar Jackson is a nightmare to deal with. I think he starts out of the gate really strong. I think Derrick Henry is able to kind of regain some of his steam. He's not going to be like prime Derrick Henry, but I think he's going to be something that they like sorely missed and sorely needed last year. I think the receivers, although they're not great, you lose a guy like Odell. I think it's good enough. On the defense, although you lose some and it'll take a little bit to mesh, it's still a really good unit anyway. You guys made very compelling points. I could I'm not going to be shocked if the Chiefs win by a touchdown. Like, I don't think, like, I need
you to say Ravens by 20.
So now we're a bit podcast again.
Best I can do is Ravens by 4. So I'll say the Ravens win. I'll say they cover. Like, confidence is low in that pick, but I'm going with them.
Can I add real quick?
Yeah.
That's okay. Confidence being low week 1 is totally fine because there's a lot. I mean, every single game as we were going through these, it's like, what do we even expect from most of these teams?
Speak for yourself, Dylan.
Yeah, I was about to say, Dylan.
Okay, all right.
I was about to say, I'm pretty confident in some of these.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
My gut was telling me Ravens just because a lot of based off what I saw last year, and I understand that that's not all that applicable to this year, but I'm still rolling with it.
Does Pat Mahomes sneaky own the Ravens?
He owns everybody at this point.
Yeah,
other
that's
than the Bengals.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
And Jared Goff. Mahomes 4-1 against the Ravens. Last losses in 2021. 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean,
covered them all.
I love the Chiefs here. I love the Chiefs.
But before we move on, can we touch real quick? I'm curious. First game. What's everybody's viewing and eating situation? Me personally, B-Dubs BOGO boneless wings has to be the move on NFL kickoff on Thursday night.
I usually don't do this, but it's going to be Raising Cane's on Thursday.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great deal.
Raising Cane's and some football.
You know, Carter, there's a Raising Cane's that opened right downtown Knoxville about a month ago. I think I might have to join you.
Ooh.
Wow.
No, that would
be
a
game
shame.
time decision.
Let's move on. Packers Eagles in Brazil. This is phenomenal. You know, people like to talk about, Roger Goodell and the NFL. They're adding games. They're putting games on Wednesdays and Tuesdays all of a sudden. The fact that we start with a Friday game is unbelievable. I know if you love high school sports or something, like I'm sure that stinks or whatever. Guess what? Packers Eagles in Brazil. I'm going to be sitting on my couch. I got the 2 TV set up. We're going to be watching the BYU game too. I cannot wait. We got the Eagles -3 in Brazil. How do you factor in the Brazil stuff? We saw the fake weather stuff that they might cancel the game because of pollution or whatever in the air.
Weren't people getting sick and stuff?
Everyone's getting sick.
Aren't there like riots? It just sounds like an entire mess.
That just sounds like Brazil. And then all of a sudden,
Philadelphia's not that far off, right? Philadelphia.
And so
Philadelphia might be used to
home game.
It's a home field advantage.
So this game's going to be played in Kensington, Philadelphia.
Jesus Christ. Jeff Nadeau's going to be sideline reporting.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my goodness. So, anyhow, Eagles -3 in this game. We have also Twitter's banned for this game.
Yeah,
so
no X.
Yeah, unless they have VPNs, which people are just going to have VPNs for this game.
They're supposed to get fines, though, up to $9,000.
Oh, really?
Chef to repay that.
They're legitimately fining people for using a VPN if they find. I don't know how they catch you, but
yeah, ESPN's going to make sure Adam Schefter can tweet from that game.
$9,000 for ESPN's like okay.
They're gonna give Disney some ideas. They're gonna be like, wait a second, we have sole use of Twitter. Nobody else can use it. We have the sole grasp over the media narrative. Write that down.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, Eagles -3. Connor, thoughts on this game?
This is going to be unpopular. I already know it. I'm all over the Eagles here. I hate doing 2 favorites in a row. I don't love it. It makes me feel a little squirmish inside. Yeah, go ahead. Draw the square. That's fine. You add Saquon Barkley, add Jahan Dotson. Barkley behind the best O-line he's had in his career. Like, I don't have to go over it all again. Hurts is fully healthy. Kellen Moore in an offensive coordinator. The weapons are so much better than the Packers. Packers have 4 pretty good receivers. Like I said in the preview, is any of them going to be elite? Jordan Love, got a year of game tape on him. Vic Fangio and a defensive coordinator for Philadelphia. I am not ready to put my trust in this Packers team. I'm sorry. In a spot like this on the road, a lot of these Philadelphia on the road in a neutral site, but a lot of these people in Philadelphia, guys on the team, they've been to the Super Bowl. They've been in tough environments. The main guys have been there. Going to Brazil, a completely foreign place, I don't think that can be understated, where the Packers are like, wait, we've been playing in Green Bay, for the last year or whatever. I don't know. I love the Eagles here. I think 3 is not enough. I'm not ready to crown Jordan Love as a top 5 quarterback like everybody else is. We've seen him for 1 year. Let's see him with a year of game film. Let's
really
see him with
half a year.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see him with that. And then the weapons also, like, they're good, not great. They don't have a number 1 receiver. And I'm taking A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and Barkley over any type of weapons the Packers have any day of the week and twice on Sunday. What version of Josh Jacobs are we getting? The one from last year where he sucked, or the one from 3 years ago when he was one of the best backs in the league? There's too many question marks. And there's a lot of people in this Philadelphia offense I trust. So that's why I'm going Philadelphia in this one, and I feel pretty good about it.
Connor, can we talk without Dylan here? Ben, you can join in on this too. I love the over in this game.
Yeah.
I love
Brazil,
the over.
fast field soccer, Brazil, equator, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I think there's going to be so many points in this game because the Eagles' run game is going to have success. The Packers' run defense ranked, 28th last season? Yeah.
And then the Packers are just going to throw the ball like crazy. That's what they want to do. They don't want to have to give Josh Jacobs the ball 30 times a game.
Right.
The Eagles' pass defense was ranked, 31st last season? They gave up the 31st. I think I love the over. I think this is a coin flip game in my opinion because I don't know what Jordan Love we're getting. Are we getting the Jordan Love that we saw against the 49ers and the Cowboys last season, or are we getting the Jordan Love we saw weeks 1 through 6? That's the thing. I think
the Jordan Love that has a year of film on him. Like, that's the thing. This isn't going to be a new car anymore. It's not going to be like, oh my God, is Jordan Love going to be good? It's all right. We're prepared for Jordan Love now. Like teams are game planning around him. Like, there's no other weapons on this offense I love.
If I had to pick a side, I would lean slightly Philadelphia, but I don't even want to take. I wouldn't take the spread, to be honest. I really wouldn't. Dylan,
you know what I said to Ben about?
What did you say to Ben?
About not. It's okay to be unsure, not so confident.
Yeah.
This is that game.
Yes,
like,
it is.
It is just like I'm gonna watch. Right. I don't like Philadelphia fans. The Phillies are dead to me. The Eagles fans are dead to me. I'm high on the Packers, but it's like it just kind of seems like this game was thrown in there to throw it in there. Peacock game, right?
Peacock.
I think so.
Peacock game. So here's what I want to do, right?
Big for the soccer fans.
I'm going to spare you guys 3 minutes of uneducated talk about this game, and I'm going to drop a truth bomb on you, a history bomb. Do you know why this game is being played in Brazil?
Politics.
Money.
The Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961.
Oh, because the high school game. Yeah.
Because of high school games, you cannot air a football game if it's happening within 75 miles of a high school football game. Guess where there's no high school football games happening?
Brazil.
I thought that was going to get a better reaction. I thought that was going to be like, oh yeah, great tidbit, Dylan. Thank you.
I don't think I knew that.
I did not know that. That is interesting.
So then you have obviously Black Friday game, that big question mark there. I don't know how they circumnavigate that, but I thought that was interesting, and the only way they could work in that Friday football game. So shout out high school football.
Hey, expanding the borders. I'm all for
exactly.
it. Grow the game.
If I had to pick something, I'm going to go Packers just because I hate the Eagles, and that's what it comes down to. And shout out to the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961.
That's fair, but doesn't it seem like the Packers are everyone's sexy pick, like their sexy underdog pick of the week, where it's like, how are they 3-point underdogs to the Eagles? Like, I've seen a bunch of that, and I just want to go against that.
That's fair, but I hate Nick Sirianni. And we
hate
have
Trump
those
Saul?
issues.
Is that what you're saying, Dylan?
This is hurt Sirianni. Are we having issues? Trouble in paradise?
I love that.
I guess playoff purgatory, if you call that paradise.
This is just like Ben last week being like, yeah, I like Vandy plus 13.5. I just hate Virginia Tech.
and that was the best pick of the week.
And New Mexico, Arizona had 100 points.
Well, yeah. Okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, Vandy won outright as a 13.5.
That was good. That was good.
Ben, thoughts on this game?
This one I weirdly feel more confident about, and I'm with Connor liking the Eagles. I just think the Eagles have a more well-rounded team. I like the talent that they have on defense a little bit more. Vic Fangio is a defensive coordinator that I trust. We talked about Kellen Moore as well. I'm really big on the coordinators for the Eagles. I think that was a big factor in why I think they will kind of get back to where they were in previous years. The weapons for the Eagles and Packers are comparable, but I tend to prefer the Eagles.
Ooh, comparable?
I don't even think they're comparable.
I don't think it's comparable at all.
They have two clear head and shoulder wide receivers above. Tight end is above for Philadelphia. Running back
and
room
running
is
back
significantly
if
That's
better.
fair. No, that's fair. There's more depth in the wide receiver room for the Packers, I think.
Valid.
Yeah, we get
More,
that.
I
more
guess I'll
decent
go with
depth,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they
I
have
guess,
like five. They have like
yeah.
5 of the same receiver.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I prefer the Eagles' weapons too, but I'm not sure if I'm like their head and shoulders above clearly as a whole. Like I'm pulling the wide receiver thing and I'm saying like, oh, it's the best quarterback. The Patriots have the best quarterback room. That's what I'm doing with the Packers
good
wide
take.
receiver room right now.
Good take.
But anyway,
Smart take.
I do think we only saw like half a year of like good Jordan Love. I've seen a larger sample size of what a good Eagles team looks like. And although there may be culture concerns with Nick Sirianni, I think that, you know, in relationships, it's up and down, toxic relationships. I think at the beginning of a season, things are up. Maybe they come back down at some point, but I don't think it's now.
Yeah,
I like the Eagles to cover that number. The confidence level higher than having the Ravens cover the number against the Chiefs, but the Packers could win this game in a shootout, but I just think the Eagles have a more well-rounded team all around.
My issue with this game is I feel like both teams are very successful in what the other team is not successful at. Therefore, which equals points, Dylan. So join the over with me, Dylan. Points, Friday night.
I don't know.
First Brazil game. Come on.
I don't care about Brazil.
I can't.
It's an hour time change. Who cares? They've been there all week.
After LSU USC, I've banned overs for the year.
No,
You can't, after 1 week.
One week, I'm done with overs for the year. That was mean what they did.
Why don't you consult me when you take an over? Because I didn't even ride that one. That was too many points.
So this is my ride with Karter. Ride with Karter over. And then what happens if it loses? Am I exonerated from having to take any overs this year?
Nope, you have to force me to take an under. We do. This is a classic.
Deal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, deal. Deal. All right. This is the over game. I will take the over in this one.
Okay.
And if the under hits, then you have to take an under that I pick.
Absolutely. It can even be Iowa State, 35.
I
35 and a half.
Oh,
Anyhow.
you're getting screwed.
Let's talk about Cowboys Browns. I don't think this is one of the best games of the week. I think Dolphins Jags is another great game, but this is going to be probably the second most watched game of the week, but also this is the Tom Brady game. I think this is going to be very, very scrutinized just from the Tom Brady perspective. I think the game's actually going to be quite boring. I think it's going to be a low scoring game, but everybody's going to tune in to see, oh, Tom Brady stinks. We want Greg Olsen. Just people have that in their Twitter giraffes right now, ready to tweet. Oh my gosh, they fired Greg Olsen for this guy after he says like one. So that's half the reason I wanted to talk about this. But Browns are minus 2.5, and I think the Browns are going to win this game outright. I love the Browns in this game. I think the Browns are a much better because I think the Cowboys are kind of a one-trick pony this season. I think they are. It's okay. CeeDee Lamb, go get the ball. You're going to get 20 to 25 targets a game. That's not an exaggeration. He's going to get 20 targets a game, and eventually the Browns are going to be like, okay, let's just double team CeeDee Lamb. We're going to let Brandon Cooks or whatever other bag of chips receiver they have, and then okay, let's guard
Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah, fine.
It'd be all right.
Fine. Give me the Browns. Myles Garrett's going to have a field day. This isn't the Cowboys' offensive line of the past. Myles Garrett might have 2-3 sacks in this game. I love the Browns here.
So, what do you think we get from Deshaun Watson against this Dallas pass defense that's historically been pretty good? Even without, I know they're missing Deron Bland. Even without Deron Bland, they've been a pretty good pass defense.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I think it's just going to be a matter of who scores first. I think this game could end 3-0.
This is Cleveland's weapons more, Dylan. They've got Cooper on the outside. They've got Jerry Jeudy healthy at least for week 1. They've got David Njoku, who's a matchup nightmare. Like Deshaun has options. Dak has one option, and they don't have a running game to go with it. Now the Browns don't either. I don't love Jerome Ford, but still,
I don't know if that matters. Like Dak is such a better quarterback than what we've seen from Deshaun Watson in the last calendar year. So even if he does have more weapons, if you can't get it to him, I don't. When I saw this, I was genuinely shocked. I thought, how do you favor a Deshaun Watson Cleveland Browns team?
And that's why. That's why we're taking it.
Yeah, that's I was about to say. That's kind of
I'm on
why
the
we're
Browns,
also
Dylan.
taking
I'm on the
it.
Browns.
So it's a trap.
Think about every Joe Schmo that's going to be like, oh my gosh, the Cowboys are underdogs against Deshaun Watson against the Browns. Pfft, this is the freest money ever.
I don't know. Maybe I don't have my finger on the pulse of what the public thinks, because I saw this and I was like, I thought that people would favor Cleveland's defense. Like, that was the story last year, was Cleveland's defense single-handedly got them into the playoffs. And Flacco was good.
Take the data out of your mind and just think purely on, oh my gosh, it's the Cowboys. Like, there was a Cowboys tax on every spread, and the fact that it's still Browns minus 2.5.
It started Browns plus 1.5 when it opened in like May or June, and it's come all the way to Cleveland minus 2.5, which makes me think, like, there's no way there's not public money on Dallas. There's no way.
That's tough. You guys have kind of talked me into that.
Come join us. Ben, thoughts on this game?
I like the Browns here in a game like 13-10. I think this is one of those games where the Browns defense is able to take away the top option, and then it's just ugly. And same thing with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys defense is gonna overwhelm Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, we have seen no evidence that he is the guy of pre-personal issues.
Massages.
Yes. We have not seen Texans Deshaun Watson since that incident. And based off of that, I just can't see the Browns, especially with no Nick Chubb, being able to move the ball a ton versus a Cowboys defense. But I do think there are options there. I think I keep saying more well-rounded for a lot of these games. I think they're more well-rounded than Dallas, whereas I think, you take something away, the Browns have a counter on offense. I don't think the Cowboys have that. The Cowboys are like, oh, we're just going to force feed CD the ball the entire time. And, that's going to get him a touchdown. That's going to get him in field goal range a couple times. But I like the Browns, especially it's in Cleveland, right?
It's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But the dog
if it was kind of a coin flip at that point, I think I was leaning Browns anyway, but I think home field advantage matters too, and I like Cleveland here.
Dylan, you're joining us.
13-10.
You're thinking the Browns, aren't you?
No, I'm going to stick with Cowboys. I think what it comes down to, Cleveland has the best pass defense in the league. They aren't as good at stopping the run. I understand we had the TikTok go out. The running back room for Dallas is
These are the
rough.
two worst running back rooms in the league right now without Nick Chubb there.
I was about to say, them two in the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have Ramondre than anybody else.
Okay.
And Antonio Gibson, I think I'd rather have that duo.
We love
Antonio Gibson. Fantasy football. Oh my gosh, I've drafted him so many times. It's been miserable. Anyway, Dallas tackles very well. Like, the defense is there. Dallas converted better last year on third down, almost 50% of the time, where the Browns only did about 30. And the Browns last year, even with that great defense, had the league worst touchdown red zone rate allowed. That was a lot, but at over 70%. I think that's what this comes down to. Maybe I'm being a square. Maybe I'm seeing Dallas with a plus sign and being like, oh, that's – but I just – Deshaun Watson has yet to show me anything. He didn't play in preseason, and I don't know why it would show up now. So I'm going Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm going Dallas 24-13.
Shout out Brandon Anderson. I wrote it with him. Deshaun MVP, 75-1.
I did too. I had to. I've been around it too much. Real quick on this game. Dylan, if your argument, or Ben, your argument is going to be, or Carter, whoever, I guess, don't want to take the Browns. If your argument is going to be Deshaun Watson's not good and he's not going to be good this year, I cannot argue that. We've seen enough for it to be like, all right, you're probably right. His years as a starting quarterback might be over. But I'm going to give it one last ride, one last rub on Deshaun Watson, and
wow,
might need to cut that out. Sorry, Jesus.
I think we keep that.
One last rub on the Deshaun Watson genie lamp. There we go. There's a good reference.
That's a good one. That's a good, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pick the Browns here. I do. I think for all the reasons, Dylan, that you said for the Cowboys, it's valid. But this Cowboys O-line, it's not the elite we're used to. Their weapons on the outside. You got a 40-year-old Brandon Cooks and an unproven Jalen Tolbert. Dak is fine. CD's fine. But like Carter said, you double CD, take that away. What are you going to do? You can't fall back on the run game. Don't love your own four back there either. but at least the Browns have multiple options, multiple weapons. I think David Njoku has a huge day in the middle of the field for the Browns, and if Deshaun Watson can just be serviceable at home, I think they can pull this off. So I've got Browns like a 20-16 game. Something weird.
So clip time. We touched on this in the preview. Week 1 starting. I'm out on Deshaun Watson. I don't think he's going to go back to what he was in Houston. How long of a leash are you guys giving Deshaun Watson to return to his former self before you give up on him? How many weeks?
2 to 3.
Okay.
I'm going to be quick on it.
If I don't see something by like week 4 that makes me think he's any different than he has been the last year and a half, then I'm ready to turn the page. I'm not going all in on Deshaun Watson. I'm not planting my flag on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, because there's not big roster turnover, and the only thing that's different is they added Jerry Jeudy and Nick Chubb's kind of coming back from injury. So if we don't see it right away, and also if he's not healthy, then it's just done. It's over.
Cut your losses.
This is the last chance he's actually going to be healthy. The last time. And if it doesn't work now, it's not going to work ever.
That would be death of the fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah, no, they're stuck with them. So, anyhow, let's talk about Rams Lions. Lions minus 3.5. The most important thing about this game, I'll start with you, Ben. I don't think it's being talked about enough that Matt Stafford's wife is not going to be at the game.
I don't care if it's not Taylor Swift. Why are we talking about this? Why is that a thing that I've seen on Twitter?
I don't know. I knew Ben.
She is dying. She is dying to be Taylor Swift and to get that attention.
Oh, I got scared because she have cancer.
I thought you were legitimately saying she was like dying, and I didn't know it. And I commented on a tweet like, "I don't care if it's unless it's Taylor Swift." And I was about to feel really bad.
Yeah, that was very.
We could have aggregated that, Dylan.
Yeah, we could have. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
My favorite part of last year is during that playoff game when she was like, they were booing me and my children. They were booing my children. It's like, you think they weren't just booing you and maybe your husband? You think they're booing your 8-year-old daughter? There's this tweet that was just like, nah, man, I was booing the fuck out of that
8-year-old. This will be the first KarterKast episode with a little E next to it.
Oh my god! Now Brian comes on.
You can remove that. You can remove that. You can leave that in.
No,
I don't care.
We'll leave it.
When Brian comes on, there's an E, Dylan.
Yeah, shout out Brian.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I got quiet with that one too. Anyway, I think in this matchup, if you look at everything that's non-Kelly Stafford related, I'm biased, but
Kelly Stafford versus Jared Goff's fiance.
Now wife.
Oh,
How does that factor?
They got married?
Yeah, they did get married this summer.
Oh, okay, nice.
First game as a married man.
Yeah. In the golf world, when you get married, that's like a death sentence to your career. Are we worried about that?
Or if
I know we're not
no.
Or if you get married, Michigan goes like 15-0.
That's true. In the fan world, you get married, your favorite team wins national championship.
Hasn't happened yet, brother. I'm 2 years in and I'm starving. My team won 2 games.
Yeah. Anyway, the football game. So the Rams defense, we've talked about this. It's questionable. There's issues. It's not going to be very good. The Rams offense, one of their tackles, Jackson. I think it's Jackson. One of their tackles is suspended for the first 2 games. The other one is questionable and hasn't been practicing all camp. They are using Jonah Jackson, the guard from the Detroit Lions last year, as center. He's taking reps at center, and it sounds like he's going to play center. He has not played center in the NFL. This Lions defensive line, they've improved. They've added Marcus Davenport. We don't know if DJ Reader's going to play, but all camp indications are that Levi Onwuzurike is going to take a jump. You still have Aiden Hutchinson. This feels like a game in which the defensive line for the Lions is able to show out. I think the Lions offense is able to dictate the pace and be able to just score at ease. I think they're able to score at ease. I think the only question that you have is, can Matt Stafford just throw all over the yard to Puka and Cooper Kupp? Although there is a lack of chemistry with the defensive backs, almost entirely new defensive backfield for the Lions, it is such a talent upgrade from last year that I'm not sure if it matters. I think there are going to be chemistry, like guys figuring out how to play together for the first 4-ish weeks. but I almost think it doesn't matter because it was so bad last year that it has to be better. I like the Lions in this number. We're playing in Ford Field. It's going to be electric on Sunday night. Maybe I've just got my, I'm drinking the blue Kool-Aid, but it just really feels like everything's pointing Lions here.
This game is going to have an electric atmosphere. I mean, this was the coolest game of last season. That Lions crowd on that playoff game against the Rams was unfreaking believable. I have no feel for this game because I think both secondaries are just so bad, and the passing game is going to be electric. I would lean Lions here. I think this is the classic. You sit back. You just went through war all day with the NFL games. You sit back and you go, all right, I'm going to take two different players to get anytime touchdowns in this game. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it because those are probably hitting. Because you name two players, they're probably scoring a touchdown in this game.
Like Puka and Gibbs.
Yeah, exactly. Puka, Gibbs.
That's a good one.
I wouldn't go Gibbs. This is a classic David Montgomery 2-touchdown game to piss off Gibbs fantasy owners week 1. I mean, this is just classic. Suspect Rams run D. You get the ball on the 5-yard line, and then you see number 5 Charl on the field, and Jameer Gibbs owners everywhere.
There's no worse feeling as a Gibbs owner.
Connor,
this is the game.
Connor, back up the suspect Rams rush defense. You got anything to back that up? I'm putting it on trial because that's one of my points is that they actually had a decent run defense last year.
Lost Aaron Donald.
Aaron
Young
Donald's
just
gone.
traded away their captain, Ernest Jones, at linebacker. That front 7 is not what it was last year.
Okay.
I don't think you can use those numbers when you have Aaron Donald gone. I think numbers from last year aren't he is a good enough player. He's an impactful enough player to kind of void all those numbers almost.
Yeah, he's the greatest defensive
all
tackle.
Of them?
He is one of the greatest, maybe the greatest defensive tackle in the history of football.
That's fair. Here's
two
what
guys
I will
on him
say.
all the time. That was the thing. Yeah, keep going.
I don't want to doo-doo on Aaron Donald's legacy that he's left. A great football player, not going to argue that. But that is not enough to make me negate the point that I have here is that these were two of the better run defenses, and I think that's going to stay up. And this might be a positive for you guys. Tons of passing. Whatever you want to take Goff passing attempts over. You want to take Stafford passing attempts over. This game will not end until 1 a.m. Eastern time because it's just going to be clock stopped, incomplete passes, complete passes, commercials. It's going to be for not for me, but for you guys, a very fun game. I think there's going to be a lot of points, a lot of passing, a lot of explosive plays. I think the difference here, we have seen what both of these quarterbacks can do. I kind of give Matt Stafford the edge a little bit here just because of the drops from last year. We saw Stafford's stats, and it was overall impressive for how old he is. If they could just negate some of those drops, I think he's going to be a real star this year. I think the Rams end up winning this in a high-scoring matchup. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be a shootout track meet. I think the Rams squeak this one out.
Oh, I love it.
Both teams awful in coverage, too. That's why it's going to be a pass fest. Second and fourth worst teams graded out in coverage last year. It's going to be a very fun game that will end very late.
We are using the Lions defensive backs they're really bad. What if, how much do you account into they're all different?
They did invest.
Almost entirely different.
I lean towards, and this is just in all the previews.
I don't have the evidence yet.
If there's uncertainty, I go that they're not going to be that good. That's just my natural tendency with everything. Quarterbacks, new quarterbacks.
Is it fair enough? Yeah. Is it fair enough? Because
I just think it has to be better.
Yeah,
I think it has to be better, especially when you bring in a first round and a second round corner. You get second year first and second round rookie DBs. You've got Kirby Joseph back, Brian Branch back. Those are two guys you actually want back. Carlton Davis from the Bucks. Amik Robertson from the Raiders. I just think they've done enough that I think at some point this year it's going to click and at least be good enough.
My question mark
at some point.
Yes.
My question mark
not week one
with rookies in general is, can they make the jump from college to professional? Obviously, that's a fair question to ask. And I just, it's not, we don't have any data. I just normally tend to lean towards no, unless it's Will Levis.
Okay. That's fine. But I'll say the Lions, you kind of have to assume yes with Lions rookies based off how Brad Holmes is drafted.
Okay.
But I'll be quick here. Best of the line of football in Detroit. Ben, you touched on it. I think that alone against the Rams run defense that may be okay, Dylan, but still lost Aaron Donald. I'm going to factor that in. There will be a lot of passing still. I think the Rams offense, I trust a lot. I love both these teams. Went over them both in the previews. I think Cooper Kupp is going to have a huge year, especially with Puka still banged up. I think Cooper Kupp over 5.5 receptions at plus money is one of my favorite props of the week. Like, really? You're not going to get 6 catches? I think Stafford's going to him early and often. However, this Lions offense, opening in a dome, Jared Goff indoors safely, season opener. I think the Lions pull this off. I think it's like 35-24 Detroit. I think it's high scoring, but they just kind of pull away at the end. I really do.
We'll keep it room temperature for Jared inside Ford Field.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add this about the Aaron Donald comment real quick. Last year he posted his worst rush defense grade of his entire career. So that whole
Is that still better than 90% of the league or no?
I don't know. 71.3. It's a light green on the PFF scale. Light green's not great. It's not blue.
He also had nobody around him.
Aaron Donald is bad.
I mean, there's guys that
Aaron
are like,
Donald's rush defense was bad last year.
He's getting triple teamed, to be fair.
Let's talk about the last game. Let's talk about the last game real quick. We'll go quick on this one. I want to touch on some of the other Sunday slate games very briefly.
Nap game of the week.
What?
KarterKast nap game of the week.
We'll touch on that in a second.
Yeah, okay.
We'll touch on that in a second. Jets 49ers minus 3.5 for the 49ers. Where are we going here? I don't know what to do here because the Niners, there's this stuff in the front office. Aaron Rodgers, we've never seen him play in 2-3 years. It feels like. I don't know where to go here. I would lean Jets just because of the points. I don't know. I don't know where to go here.
I think I've been around the Action Network people too much because I'm drinking the Jets Kool-Aid after everything I've heard. There's like multiple analysts at Action that are all over the Jets. Super Bowl runner-ups, 4-19 against the spread week 1 opener since 2000. 49ers, they did work out Brandon Ayuk. They did work out Trent Williams. Both those guys are going to be back. Although, how quickly do they mesh? I know that they've been there for years, but they haven't been in training camp, haven't been in preseason. I think there's something to be said about maybe taking a quarter or two to actually get acclimated against teams in the other color jersey. I think that's fair. Aaron Rodgers hates the 49ers. They didn't draft him from California. I think that's a big, with a guy like Aaron Rodgers who has a big vendetta against a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I think that has to be brought up. He's playing in San Francisco. Jets O-line is improved. Elite defense, elite 2 weapons. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. I love the Jets here. I think 4.5 is too much. I think they win outright. I think this is a game where Jets win outright. Every ESPN talk show is like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers MVP. Jets are back. His MVP odds dip, and then 49ers lose. And the whole Brock Purdy song and dance starts over again, where it's like, is Brock Purdy the guy?
Yep.
I think this is a classic narrative game. So much is going to stem from this, and I think it's going to be Jets over 49ers in the upside.
Can I paint a ESPN wet dream?
Ooh.
Please.
Paint it.
This weekend, if, let's say Saturday, Colorado beats Nebraska outright, the Cowboys get demolished on national TV against the Browns, and the Jets beat the 49ers.
Bronny makes opening day roster.
And Bronny marries Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know. I was losing track. I was losing steam there. That's ESPN's dream right there. That weekend right there.
It is.
There would be producers fighting in the control room over what the A block is. Like, well, the Cowboys ratings. And it's like, but Shadur.
We're making First Take a 12-hour show today. Pat McAfee, marathon, 12 hours. That's it. We're not running any other show.
No breaks for Stephen A. Smith.
Hey, Connor. I agree with most of your points. My one counter though is okay. Aaron Rodgers, right? Like he's gonna hold a grudge against the 49ers. He has a grudge against the 49ers. Okay, if that's gonna factor in helping him win, why does he never beat the 49ers ever?
Oh, that's a good point, Ben. That's fair.
I'm just saying the 49ers have largely owned him in his career. I just wanted to throw that out there.
That is fair.
But with that,
valid.
With that being said, I just have to look for any possible just ability to trash Aaron Rodgers.
I can't.
With that being said, I do like the Jets to win this game. And I think this is one of those week 1 overreaction games where the 49ers are kind of having a Super Bowl loss hangover. We talked about them like we're kind of fading them in the regular season. I think they're kind of up and ready to go, kind of like the Chiefs were last year by playoff time. I think this is one of those teams that kind of stumbles its way, sleepwalks through the regular season, kind of looking not like themselves. And we're all like, what happened to the 49ers? What happened to the 49ers? They slide in 11-6 and they're good to go in the playoffs. That's what I kind of think we see. I think this is one of those situations where the Jets win we're like, oh my gosh, the Jets are Super Bowl contenders, and then they will go 8-9.
No, it's gonna be 2 minutes left. Purdy throws a pick, and then the whole song and dance is Purdy the guy for San Francisco.
Yes.
Should they have kept Trey Lance? Like
Lights too bright.
The whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Thoughts on
Jets.
that game?
Yeah. Yep.
Real quick, I love fading hype. Both these teams were talked about all offseason.
I was about to say, there's no hype to fade.
You
really.
can't get away from it.
They're both ultimately hyped up. You had the 49ers with the contract extensions. You had Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I kind of lean under. I'll be honest, I will have more to say about this game Sunday night whenever we record that. But I start to like the under. The Jets defense has just made me so much money in the past. It's very hard to doubt them. So should be a fun game, and I'll have more Sunday night.
Okay, yeah, I'll do the same thing. We'll tease a little Sunday. We'll have a little Sunday night tease for everyone.
Yeah.
Dylan and I will give
Ooh,
our
Sunday
picks
night
Sunday
tease.
night. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson loves that.
Real quick, a few games I want to touch on. Divisional matchups. Colts Texans. I love the Colts this Sunday. Love the Colts this Sunday.
This is bad content, but I saw an anti-Colts stat. I can't remember what it was, but I saw an anti-Colts stat on Twitter.
Was it Anthony Richardson related? Because it probably was.
It was like opening week. It was week 1 Colts stat. Like against the spread, they were really bad.
Oh, they probably stink against the spread opening week. Who cares?
Okay.
Anthony Richardson ran for 2 touchdowns and a quarter and a half against them last season. He's going to dominate this Texans run game. Texans run game is their biggest weakness. That's the Colts' biggest strength. Jonathan Taylor healthy. That offensive line is dynamite. Very healthy over in Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor are going to run all over the Texans, control time of possession, and everybody and their mother, everybody and their grandma, their mother, are going to be on Texans minus 2.5. This is the ultimate fade this week. You want to talk about fading hype. I think the Texans might have the most hype coming into this season out of so many teams. The Colts money line is going to make this come to
the Texans have the most hype?
I
they
think
do have a lot of
you
hype.
have a very different Twitter than we do, Dylan.
Yeah, I must have. I haven't heard a whole lot from them.
Stay away game for me. There. That's the ultimate stay away.
Dolphins Jags, I think, is just going to be an ultimate red zone game, or it's one of those that you think it should be a red zone game, and you're like, why isn't there more points in this game?
Beautiful
Jags
uniform
plus 3.5, Carter. Jags plus 3.5.
Really?
I love the Jags this weekend. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have one of those games where people are like, wait a second, we forgot Trevor Lawrence might be a top 7 quarterback in the league.
Yeah,
I like the Jags this weekend.
Okay, I could be convinced into the Jags.
Are we sure this isn't one of those stupid, like, the Steelers just F around and beat the Falcons kind of thing?
I wanted to bring that one up next. I
Russ,
don't know.
Let him cook.
It's not because, and Connor, I know you're getting upset internally there. I don't think the Steelers are good, but they always just F around and win games.
Well, what's Dylan going to do here? This is the ultimate Dylan Bowl, week 1.
This is tough because I want to be high on the Falcons. I think they're going to be a very good team, but also the Steelers, Sussy for Russie. Let's see if he can cook.
I am other game I want to touch on quickly, Titans-Bears. Titans-Bears, sneaky like the Titans here.
Down to 3.5 now, I think. It was 4.5 down to 3.5.
I'm seeing 4s out there right now, but yeah.
It's
going towards the Titans.
I saw a stat. It was like rookie quarterbacks that start week 1, 0-14-1 against the spread. I love it. I understand I'm biased or whatever, but there is legitimate reason to be excited about this Titans team. Like they're going to actually try to score points. Will they be successful? I don't know. Hopkins is on the depth chart, so he will not miss time. It'll be interesting.
Let me one up you here. There's reasons to be excited about this Panthers team because I want to talk about Panthers Saints. Panthers Saints is clearly the worst. It's clearly the worst game of the week. I don't know, man. This Panthers, both defenses might be really bad this year, actually.
Can we flex this game to like 9:30 Sunday morning, the standalone game? Even though
send it over to London last minute.
Send it over to London last second. Yeah. I love the Panthers here. Give me the Panthers with the points. I think the Saints are one of the worst teams in football. I think that Derek Brown and Jadeveon Clowney are going to have their way with this Saints offensive line, the Saints O-line is going to be the worst offensive line in football. Derek Carr is not a mobile quarterback. He's going to have no time in the pocket. Kamara and Derek Carr are going to get swallowed up by Brown and Jadeveon Clowney. I don't think and J.C. Horn's actually healthy for this game. I love the Panthers. I think Bryce Young has more time in the pocket. It's going to I think the Panthers went outright. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game for Carolina. Other game I wanted to touch on super quickly, Raiders-Chargers. I know it's not a sexy pick. I like the under in that game. I think there's going to be like 8 points total.
Wow, 8?
You know who wins? Chargers -3. One of my favorite plays of the weekend.
Ooh,
Harbaugh and Herbert. over Pierce and Minshew. That's the whole thing I need right there. That's all.
Jesse Minter,
Dylan,
brother, the GOAT.
Nap game of the week.
Nap game of the week, Commanders Bucks. I think this is something we're going to have to do every week. I'll make a graphic. I'll tweet it out from the KarterKast account. This is the game where it's like, you're excited the night before. You don't get a lot of sleep. It's like Christmas Eve. And it's like, okay, I could take a nap at 4:25 Eastern during this game and maybe check in on the other two that are in the midday slate. But yeah, this is the KarterKast nap game of the week. If we were a inappropriate show, this would be, we put the A word on this graphic right in the bottom in big old bold letters. A word with these.
There's already
two
been
teams.
a couple slips this show, Dylan. So I think we're safe.
It's true.
My mom watches.
It's like
I can't
DJU.
say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
DJU.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
It might be a nap game. I kind of like the Commanders plus 3.5.
Bucks are going to be
the
so bad
Commanders.
this year.
I know.
I don't hate that. I won't bet it because I will be, but
I lean over in that game. I think there's going to be points. I think Jaden Daniels is going to sling it. I can't. The reason it's not a nap game for me, I think Jaden Daniels is so good, but I would
he might
actually
die though. Blitz
I
boy
actually
Bowles.
think Raiders Chargers is the nap game of the week. Sneaky,
Not for Dylan though.
Wild Jim Nance is on the call for that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I don't know
crazy.
about that one. Got to
That's
welcome
crazy.
Harbaugh back. Real quick. I got one
Go.
more I want to give
Yeah.
y'all. It's gross. It's disgusting. Vikings money line against the Giants. I think.
Love it.
I think that's a lock. Are we serious with this Daniel Jones to Malik Neighbors stuff? You know who I trust more? Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson.
Giants no passing touchdowns in the preseason. Can I tell you something? I'm going to
Does
wrap.
that matter?
I don't think
Does that matter?
it does.
doesn't.
It does. You got to get one.
Hey. Let me. Ben will know this as a Lions fan. Hey Ben, when the Lions went winless, what was their record in the preseason?
I don't know.
4-0.
3-0.
I think that
4-0.
were they?
Yeah, they went 4-0 and then 0-7, 0-16.
But you gotta
Yeah.
get one passing touch. I mean, there is not a rookie. Malik Neighbors has not received a touchdown pass in professional
It doesn't
football
matter.
yet. I don't know.
99% of these rookies haven't yet in the preseason.
I don't think he's going to receive one in week one either. So
I want to
I'm
get
not,
this.
I'm not disagreeing with your pick, but if you're saying preseason matters, then you're out of your mind.
I don't think it matters, but
If
some
preseason
things-
matters, then the Carolina Panthers are winning the Super Bowl because of that one drive
little.
against Buffalo.
little things matter. You got to
What
get
thing,
things
Dylan?
procedurally correct. I got to get this takeoff. We're at the finish line. Sam Darnold's
Patriots.
going to look pretty good in this Viking system. He
Thank you.
has been
Yes.
in awful systems. He has the arm talent, looked great at USC in 17. We will be shocked with how good Sam Darnold looks in this Viking system with Jefferson.
He's kind of got the little Deshaun Watson to him where it's like, okay, if it was ever going to happen with Sam Darnold, it is right now in
Yep.
this Vikings offense.
with Aaron
100%
Jones
agree.
too? Check down King? I'm telling you, Vikings money line.
Check down King. And Aaron Jones receptions might need to get looked at. Patriots Bengals.
Give me Pats,
Mononucleosis.
9.5.
Mono. I saw Ben doing the graphic.
Out indefinitely.
I need to screen grab that and make the graphic for Ben. Yeah, the Bengals are sneaky upset watch now because this line's down to 7 right now, and this is going to be in every single money line parlay. Every Vegas book is going to tweet out, we would love the Patriots to win. And the Bengals, we talk about the Chiefs being slow coming out of the gates. The Bengals always come out of the gates slow in starting the season.
Will Jamar Chase even play? I think it's another
Yeah.
factor.
Cardinals, Bills, that is the most, I don't want to touch this game at all.
Yeah,
Really?
same.
I kind
Yeah,
of
I
like
don't
Bills
want-
-6. I kind
I
of
don't
think Josh Allen has a field day.
I think he has a field day, but I also think Kyler could have a field day.
I want to see what we get there from the Bills first. I want to see
Okay.
what kind of
All right,
Bills
fair.
team we're getting this year.
Seahawks Broncos. Very excited to see what Bo Nix is. I very
Are
very
you?
very excited. Yes, I want to see what he looks like in an NFL uniform
Yeah.
and him taking NFL snaps because I feel like we're all going to make an assumption very quickly on what Bo Nix's career is going to go just based off this one game.
Excited to see Mike McDonald head coach performance too. I'm excited to see what that looks like for Seattle.
And then I think we touched on every game.
Look at us.
Yeah, we got it. We hit every game. Let's go. I love it.
Under an hour too.
Yeah, under an hour. What a great show. What a great show. We're back. Make sure to tune in. Dylan, we're live streaming with Cole.
Cole's
Saturday
going to be
night.
here.
Is he
He's gonna
still
be here.
alive?
We talked. We've been talking in the DMs. He
Okay,
is,
all right.
Things are not going well.
In a dark place.
We might need to get a better help sponsorship for our Florida State fans of this show. So he's not doing well, but he's going to be live with us Saturday night after Tennessee, NC State, and Colorado, Nebraska. And then Dylan and anybody else here who's going to be able to hop on Sunday night NFL recap. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review. at KarterKast on all social media, and all of our personal social medias in the episode description below. SeatGeek, use code KarterKast, $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek.com. Dylan.
Parlay?
Oh, I forgot. Great call. Parlay. Give me a pick, Dylan.
Rams plus 3.5.
Okay. Colts plus 3. Connor.
Vikings money line. We're getting in the weeds.
Love it.
Don't hate it. Ben.
I'm going to say Broncos plus 6.
Oh, we're getting
This is the
Okay,
most disgusting
all right. I don't
parlay
hate that
in
either,
history of
honestly.
this show.
This is a
Lots
gritty
of
parlay.
dogs.
I'm going to put out an anytime touchdown parlay out there. I'm going to put the graphic out there too. Make sure to follow us all on Twitter at KarterKast on everything. Once again, subscribe to the YouTube. Let's get to 1K. Let's get to 1K, Dylan.
Yes,
We're
we
almost
need
there.
We
We're
need it.
almost there. Anyhow, all right, that's it from us. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.